Hello.
How are you?
I've got a cold.
You do have a cold.
You probably see me on the in preview just like adjusting everything. So
The meds will take effect. Go ahead. What was that?
the comments on the restream
Yes.
are cool, but you can't have the comments on the YouTube at the same time.
Yes, you can.
They overlay each other.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because I could sit there and read it. Papa Cat's the one that's like, the overlay is driving me nuts. So
Oh, he doesn't like the overlay. We
because he
had
has
a vote in the Corn
ah,
Joint.
okay.
We had a vote. Papa Cat must not have been there. The chat specifically requested the overlay. See,
Uh
your chat never populates after the chat. I think it's a setting on your.
yeah, probably
So
because
when I watch on replay, there's no chat to watch at the same time. If you go
there
to my channel and watch the replay, then there's a chat.
my live chat shows back up like an hour later, I think. It has to.
Oh,
How long does it take for my live chat to come back up?
it does repopulate? Maybe I've just been missing.
Yeah,
Live chat after a
Op-
live is done,
yeah.
it can take up to a day.
Oh, it could take up to a day.
Okay. Yeah, it
I
takes a long time.
okay, so it's if you run it again when you have the overlay on it, then you could read it again. Okay.
Right. If you do it with overlay, then when they replay it, they can see the chat even if chat doesn't populate.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I was
Yes.
wondering about that because it's like, remember I used to have it on my Prism, but I took it off because it was the same thing.
Right.
So once I figured out how to do it,
Well, we can give Cricket and Adam a vote if they want.
is that who's here now? Oh, we have four
Yes.
people. Does that include us?
I don't know if it includes us. It probably includes Papa Cat if he's watching.
Be number 5.
He'll be number 5. So
Okay.
yeah. So I was saying
You
earlier
can't
that
work without a chat overlay. Is
oh
that
my,
right, Cricket?
ah,
We can turn it off.
And jewelry?
go ahead, put it on. Spoiled brats. I've got a cold, so I have no.
We can be up and down instead of left and right.
Who'd want that on a smaller television than the one we have? We have like a 70 inch, I think. My brother gave it to us because since he's colorblind, he has to have pure black on his television. So our television is like 5 years old, but it runs perfectly because it probably cost him 3 grand when he got it.
Yeah, we've got a big, huge one too.
Oh, it's actually hearings.
Mobile, it works. It's on television that it doesn't. So,
Yes, on television, it will mess you up.
right.
If you're
So
watching on TV, you can't, you have to pick.
one or the
You,
other.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think,
Hey,
well, yeah,
Kristen.
it's blue on Restream, so I can see it with my color blindness. I can see the overlay, no problem. Drives him
Good.
crazy. So we'll learn to turn it off.
Well, we can take it back off. Cricket said he was
Oh,
just
no, that's
kidding.
fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I don't want to upset Cricket. Are you kidding?
No, Cricket said he was kidding. See?
Well, I don't want to upset Big Giant Head either. See, you got to show me how to do that because, like I said, I'm trying to pick out a stream. Prism will do OBS plugins. So it's like I'm gonna have to put on my programmer hat, which actually may help the brain fog. Who
What? Just
knows?
Restream is fine. Restream does it.
Well, I know, but I
And
don't
it,
use Restream. I use Prism. So I only use Restream with
oh,
you or Dusty.
okay.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, it's like
prism for the chat should be diagonal. How are we gonna do that, Adam? Adam, you can program that, okay? I'm
Ooh, Papa Cat doesn't
sure
have.
I'm sure that you can figure it out. The specification reads that the chat needs to be diagonal, and your job is to make it so.
She's whipping out the mama here. She's done with you today. That's all I hear is mama voice. I was like, oh boy, you should be upset, Adam.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, she did take notes, but I did. So, but I didn't take any. I only took 3.
But we have good news. We have to start with the good
Yes,
news.
we have to start with. I'm calling it the unicorn news.
Not only did the Supreme Court find properly, in my opinion,
Well, they, in my opinion, too,
but they found properly unanimously.
unanimously. And
Wow.
the only problem
Shut
is
the
that
front door.
I don't think he's gonna come back ALIVE. So, so I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm so hoping I'm wrong. But if he does, then he gets to talk about the prison. And all we've seen are the documentaries, because there is a documentary on YouTube. I found it last night. Um, and I think it's a French company. They redubbed it all in English. So it's all AI English. So they showed one, and I found a couple other things, but that was the one that was interesting was the documentary. So
Okay.
that one you guys should look up what it's like there. If there's really nothing to talk about, they'll send him back and he'll be ALIVE. So it didn't look like it. It looked like all they did was stand there and glare at the cameraman. So,
I expect that he'll have things to say, and I expect he'll have lawsuits to file.
oh God, yeah. I just don't want anything major happening at the jail because then, whoops.
So did the Supreme Court. Adam, are we making assumptions about what you're upset about? We should ask to clarify what you're upset about.
I thought he was upset at the diagonal.
I thought he was upset about the diagonal too, but it occurs to me that he could just be
Upset
very
about
upset about any manner of thing.
Yep, there's weird stuff to be upset about at the same time when you're looking forward to something turning out well. Ah, and the riot we had a helicopter go down in the Hudson
Yes.
in Manhattan just
At
when I
least it wasn't
really,
an airplane, but
but oh no, there was an airplane that touched
they
wings
they on the ground, right?
on the ground. I don't know. I was watching the Midas Boys, so I just caught that part, and then I caught because I found the helicopter thing and looked it up. So it was like just when I thought about flying up to Portland for the summer, back to the train.
The train will be nice.
You're just riffing? Okay. Hear me? It's like I just took my Dayquil while we were trying to hook up because couldn't get the audio going. So, that classic you're holding on to it instead of taking it.
Yes.
I'll get
Right.
better soon.
I now have we now have matching microphones.
Yes, we do. And I'm gonna get a silver cord for mine. They don't make pink mini cords.
They don't make pink mini cords.
Nope. Not the same color. You figure they would because this microphone is ancient because it does have a mini plug. Mini
Yeah.
plugs went years ago, but this is what everybody uses when they start out. So that's why I got it, and I just had to get it in pink. I don't know
It's
why.
it's not it's kind of salmon.
Yes, I actually saw that too. I was like, this
Yeah.
isn't like pink pink. It's sort of
No.
salmon. So it's karma for me because I hate salmon.
I thought I hated salmon until I moved to Seattle.
Uh,
At which
or-
point I realized what I hated was Atlantic salmon, which deserves to be hated.
well,
Funny story. Hubby and I were in Las Vegas, and there is a very high end chef with like 4 Michelin stars or 5 Michelin stars or something, has a restaurant in one of the hotels in Vegas. I can't remember right now the name.
I have a feeling to know which one you're talking about.
Yes. And so we decided to see if we could get reservations on a lark.
Right.
And they didn't have reservations for the restaurant, but they did for the bistro. So we had dinner at the bistro.
Which is just
And
as good.
it was lovely. And we did the prefix menu, which was lovely, except to the point when we got to the Scottish salmon. And I took one bite and went, not happening. I mean, I didn't say that, but I took one bite and went, and they were so attentive. They were so attentive. They came over and they were like, is there something wrong with the food? And we said, well, Scottish salmon would be Atlantic salmon, wouldn't it?
Yes. And for Vegas, you figure it'd be Northwest line caught salmon instead of Scottish salmon.
Yeah. So he was like, yeah, it's Atlantic salmon, all right. And I went, yep. And we're from Seattle. I don't care how you rebrand your Scottish salmon,
It's still Atlantic.
still Atlantic salmon. Oh my goodness. So they made us a different thing for
I hope
that
you tipped them well.
course. We did tip them well. We did tip.
I
It was an exceptional meal.
I hate Northwest salmon. I grew up on it. Because salmon is like trout. It used to be for poor people because there were
Yes.
so many of them. So my
Yes.
dad had it, and my grandmother would send it canned, and we would have it
And
when we
you'd
were
have
up
canned
there.
salmon for every meal. Yes.
Oh yeah, and then we went
I
up there. It was a big deal to go to the Willamette and buy and catch salmon. And no, I can't stand it. I've had too much.
I I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you. I like wild caught king salmon. I'm Atlantic salmon. Sorry, cricket. I can't eat none of the Atlantic salmon.
so like
I
I'm
am I am a diva when it comes to such
well,
things.
like me, I'm a Dungeness crab person. Period. End of sentence. I'll do snow crab maybe, but king crab, heck no. What the hell is up with that? Don't taste like crab. Tastes like nothing. Like we used to get crab during crab season at the wharf, get a loaf of bread, go down to Marina Green and eat it. So it's so weird. You know, when everybody's talking about king crab, I had it and I was like, why bother?
Yeah.
So I gotta blow my nose. Let me
Okay.
see. Oh wait,
You've
I
got a
know.
button. You've got a button on your microphone that you can push. You are eating all of my Atlantic salmon. You may have, sweetheart, you may have all of my Atlantic salmon. It took me years. People, because I am picky about food, and people would give me grief about being picky about food. And finally, nowadays, I say, you know what? You get all of my asparagus. Aren't you happy? You're welcome.
Papa gets the tips. I get the stalks. I don't understand asparagus tips, so I get the stalks.
I don't understand asparagus at all. It stinks. I cannot with asparagus.
You're one of those. You smell it before it even gets to your mouth. Yep.
I can't with the asparagus. Yep. And cream
can
of
understand that.
asparagus soup will literally make me retch.
Yeah. Barf soup.
Yes. It is. I can do a lot of things. Asparagus does not generally tend to be one of them. Although I will admit that at this wonderful restaurant, at the what did I say?
The
The
fancy restaurant.
bistro.
The bistro.
They served me asparagus, and I
Really?
ate it.
And you liked it.
Mhm.
It was probably beyond fresh. It was probably picked from somebody's garden that day.
Right. It was and prepared perfectly, and yes. Yes, it was all of the things. I've
Yeah.
never I don't
Yeah, you couldn't even like smell it. It had no
right.
smell.
There was no smell. And there was no slimy.
Perfectly cooked asparagus is not slimy. Overcooked asparagus is slimy.
Ah! It's the reason I can't do okra. It looks like snot.
Well, you also have to cook okra for 4 or 5 hours, dear.
It looks like snot.
I know. It's a southern thing. I grew up with it here in Oakland. I love okra, but I also know when okra is made bad, I can't go near it.
Ah,
So
my husband loves it.
even badly cooked, huh?
He likes it fried. He likes it
Okay,
fried.
see, it shouldn't be slimy if it's fried, that's for sure.
No, it shouldn't be slimy if it's fried, but I just can't. I just can't. Cricket says he likes most any kind of fish as long as it's not covered with sauce or something. Just grill it.
Salmon is the only thing I don't like. Unfortunately, sturgeon is really good, but we think it's because of the radioactivity, because you can get sturgeon in the bay like crazy. But I think it tastes good because Hunter's Point nuclear submarines. And fillet of fishes used to be shark. I don't
Did
know what
they
kind of shark.
really?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of shark though, but they were shark back in the day. That's why they were so good when we were kids.
Yeah, they're not quite the same anymore. I mean, I love me some fish and chips, but I really prefer it to be halibut.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was the fun part is that if people got cheap and went to fish sturgeon, then then served it on a fish and chips. It didn't matter because it was good.
Cricket, asparagus from a can. Ah,
Ah,
but you know what? I don't like fresh green beans. I only like canned.
Tams,
Huh?
Santams,
Yeah.
Santam green beans.
Any kind of canned green beans.
My
Green
grandmother,
Giant is what I came up on.
oh no, my grandmother would send us a pallet of Santams every Christmas.
Yeah. They didn't have Santiam in Minnesota. They
I
had
was wondering if it
Santiam.
still made it this long to here. So
Yeah. Yeah, they still have it.
yeah, it was hilarious. It's like I can't stand canned green beans anymore. Ah,
I like canned green beans with some butter and garlic salt.
Which turning a good vegetable to bad.
Well, it's the butter and garlic salt that makes everything edible, right?
Right. No, my brother still likes the canned ones, so when I was not eating them anymore, he'd go, "Give them to me, give them to me."
You were kind of feeling like making tonight a cheat night from fast, but thank you. You're a little sicked out now.
Good,
Well,
good.
that's good, Kristen.
That'll keep you from doing it.
You
Ah,
will only eat vegetables raw except corn.
I don't
What
think I've
about
ever
potatoes, or is potato not count as a vegetable, Cricket?
raw potatoes.
Well,
Raw.
that's what I was going to
Oh,
ask.
okay. This is all I do all day. And yes, it is Hello Kitty tissue, so don't go there.
Adorable. Fresh green beans, I can't do. They're fuzzy, and I just cannot. Exactly, they're fuzzy.
What the hell are
And
you eating
and
beans?
they're fuzzy.
See?
They're fuzzy. They've got fur.
Not the green beans I eat, so it's something up near you guys. I fuzzy?
Yes. And if they're not fuzzy, they squeak.
They squeak. That
I
yes.
can't deal with the squeaking.
Can't st
My
can't
food
stand
shouldn't squeak.
vocal food.
Don't like it talking back at me.
Exactly. It's like the cow coming up and saying, "Pick your steak, please." Yes. You like potatoes raw? That's weird. Sorry. I mean, oh, really? I've got a cold. Be nice.
Raw potatoes. Wow, Cricket.
I don't know anybody who likes raw potatoes. That's the thing. This thing never happened in my house as a microwave because you could put a red potato in a microwave 2 minutes and there you go.
Yeah. I remember we got a microwave when I was like 10. So that would have been like 76, 77.
Yep, we had one too. I'm surprised we all don't have cancer.
Yeah. So good news. We don't know. Let me go look really quick and see if we know how long they had to send him back.
Oh, he has to pay attention too. That's the thing. He doesn't care. He's too busy making money at his age. I don't understand why 78 is a big damn deal to make all the money that you're not going to have in the next life, if there is one.
Need to
I don't
find
get it. Sausage and fried potato while she was cooking when she was clamoring for snacks before dinner. Ah, okay.
Oh.
That's different. You were brought up on that. Yes, my grandmother did
Slices of raw
lemon.
potato with salt. Interesting.
It took me a long time to not eat a lemon with salt. Considering you get
So
them when you walk down the street.
the Times says it's not clear how quickly he needs to be brought back. But hallelujah that we're supposed to bring him back.
I hope we do. I really hope we do. I just don't have any faith in this admin at all.
I
At all.
don't either, but at least now the Supreme Court has spoken, and it is, I mean, like, it it's a fairly
Pretty
stinging
extreme.
verdict.
Yeah. 9
So
to
I
0.
am waiting to see what the response is
Well, he
on the
already
right.
said once he doesn't care, so and nobody said anything about it. So that's the thing. It's like he's gonna do it until he gets his hand slapped, and instead he needs his freaking face slapped. But I didn't say
Yeah,
that. No
but
violence.
this is a good slap. This is a good slap.
I hope so. But yeah, the insider trading thing they've started talking more about tonight, and it's just like seriously. I mean, I know that Marjorie Taylor Greene I'm not abbreviating her name. Um, why? Does she owe her ex-husband something? It's not going to mean anything if the inflation's through the roof. She'll be able to buy a can of green beans.
She's something else, that one.
Hell yeah, no. I don't understand her. I don't know how she keeps getting um re-elected. I don't get her absolutely at all. And that's the weird thing. I usually can understand people, even from the South. I don't understand this one at all. Or Bobert. Those two, I don't get.
Well, I don't get Mitch McConnell, so, you know.
I usually got him. He's just an old white guy who wants to keep his money. That's a boomer thing. That was easy. It's the kids I don't get.
Well, they were raised by boomers who,
Yeah, but weren't there boomers? I mean, her dad got money. Cars, property, something. So she isn't from the backwoods. So
uh,
yeah, I don't know about Bobert. I would doubt it too that she's from a backwoods, but they still didn't eat right because that's why they're short, is malnourished.
yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense when it comes into that, unless they're just mad because they're short and people point it out. You know what I mean? It's possible. What, at the protest this weekend, everybody had, people had Trump's Colorado, painting that he frickin' hates and had things that said on it. They're vain. Yeah, totally. Totally.
Turtle, turtle.
What's turtle turtle?
Mitch McConnell.
Ah. See, I've written him off so long ago. I wrote him off. I've written the other chick who's from here off because they don't really matter anymore.
Well,
So
it'll be interesting to see how what the Democrats do. It was interesting to hear some of the media personalities, not the Bulwark, but Pod Save America guys,
don't know them.
talk about they are um some Obama's speechwriters and some
Oh,
other guys
okay.
that have a podcast called Pod Save the World and Pod Save America that
So
they
more
started
academic
after.
type.
Huh?
So more academic type.
Well, political operatives. It was an an Obama speechwriter and some others.
And remember, Susan Rice was from Stanford, so that's why I was saying academic type.
Maybe academic, but more political operative kind of James Carville. I mean, not at that level, but
I love him, but he's a freaking nut job.
I love listening to him. I love
You too,
listening.
but he's crazier than God knows what. Probably why I like him so much.
Yeah, yeah. He's old enough to not care very much.
Exactly. He's happy. He's got his house. He's got his wife. Who cares?
Exactly. I mean, which isn't to say he's not
Oh, he's right.
all fired up.
Yeah, no, he's right. It's just the stuff around it where you just sit there and go, "Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Oh, you finally said something. Okay, cool. Yes, dear. Yes, dear." Ah,
Somebody wants to say hi.
ooh, is it the hot dog?
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn you. Oh, you want to come that way? Okay. Come here.
Connell's son of Granny Clement didn't inherit her gumption.
Come on.
I know the Beverly Hillbillies made me think of the South in a very strange way. You. Was he on yesterday? I got distracted yesterday. I was
Yeah,
watching.
I can't remember if he was on yesterday.
I don't think so. I came on because I got the text. Thank you. But I was watching or reading something. Oh, I got lost on Instagram for the first time in my life. So bad built body, I forget. She
Bleach blonde.
it's like, did she do steroids? Because it's her body, her the weightlifter body is really weird. So it doesn't look right. I'm not being mean. This is like purely from like just a question because it's like I didn't realize she had worked out until they showed a video and then I was like, she's doing all those things, but she's built weird. So
Interesting.
yeah, she's really top side heavy. She's like top here, not here or back, but it's like the sides. So
Hmm.
it's really strange. I don't understand it. Hey, she might have a different chromosome and won't admit it.
Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be great,
I mean,
actually.
this is my response every time they're like, we need to ban this and ban that. I'm like, who's the panty police? Who's the fucking panty police?
Considering I live here, I have way more friends who are freaked out about what's going on in this admin than, probably anybody who's not in New York.
I hear it.
Yeah. So it's like I just bottom floor. If anybody needs to hide, but I doubt it now because he's distracted everybody from. Somebody was talking about it on Monday, how the trans people were taking over soccer teams in high schools. I'm like, where the hell did you get that?
I know. I'm like, how many, like, where? This is the invasion of the body snatchers? Like, people. This
Yeah,
is
no, I
this
like it the
is
way I
not
say it.
real.
That there are a lot more than you think out there, and they're not teenagers, and they've moved. So you don't know. And you can't go look at everybody's freaking history up. So neater. So it's just the whole trans thing is so bizarre. I was explaining to a friend of mine yesterday because she didn't understand, and I wish people thought like this. I didn't expect her to think like this. She doesn't understand why trans even has to be like an explanation that the minute they turn what they want to be, they are that, period, end of sentence. And I was like, if I could get everybody to think like that, it was like, because she just couldn't get it. She was like, why is it a big deal? And I'm like, I don't know, but this is what happened, and this
Apparently,
is
it's
what's
a big
happened.
deal.
And I said,
And
and that's like,
apparently, we're turning children trans
I know.
from boys to girls overnight. No, not even overnight.
Oh, when you
In
go
a
to
whole
school,
school day.
you go
Never
to school.
like I've had 4 children. I've been when I finish, I will have I've had kids in high school for 20 years.
Well, I used the Jolie Pitt kid who was a tomboy. She never did anything, and now she's wearing dresses because you know what? That's what she wants.
But the point I'm going to make is I've had kids in school, in public schools for 30 years. You know that they can't take their own fucking aspirin into school with them. They
So
can't
weird.
do shit without signed signatures in triplicate from 6 different doctors.
Which is so weird considering I carried Sudafed.
I know. They can't do shit.
So strange.
So, I
How could they
mean,
bring hormones?
they cannot make a little boy into a little girl within a
8 hours.
school day and send them home that way. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. No, it was amazing the way she was describing it because I wouldn't expect her to do that, and she was just like, "What is the big deal?" She goes, "Once they've done what they want, that's who they are." And I was like, I seriously was just like, "Y- you're not from the weird part of the world." I explained a lot to her about prejudices and things like that, but it was so bizarre. It was like, why you would think that everybody would think like that? It's nobody's business.
Uh, uh,
They're taking over.
People don't think that way. People don't think that way. They think that everybody's got to be just like them.
But we're not at all.
Well, you know how important it is to socialize a puppy when you get one?
Yes.
And the reason for that is so the puppy has lots of different types of experiences.
And when we were kids, we went to the park a lot.
Not It's not just that. It's all the manner of things a child is exposed to, all the thinking patterns, the religious upbringing, the cultural milieu, all of these things.
Yeah. I mean, growing up here in the 70s, I didn't know that gay people were wrong. I didn't know that people who
Right,
dressed opposite their gender was wrong. It's
right.
like,
But there
okay,
are other things that might take you aback that other people don't find wrong.
you'd probably have to be really normal for me to react. I'm so used to being out on the fringe because it was the way I was brought up. And my parents are normal. And I still grew up on the fringe, because it was 70s in Bay Area.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
and my parents just were like, I ain't gonna fight it, it ain't worth it, let her learn. So, and my dad's from Portland, boomer from Portland. So you wouldn't, and ex-military, you wouldn't expect that from him.
Well, Portland, while it has this reputation as a liberal town, not so much. Oregon problems, white supremacist state.
Yeah, I have an uncle who humors me. He's not a white supremacist, but he humors me. He's probably a triple jumper. So he always thinks I'm funny.
Yeah, not so much. I
No.
mean, that's not to say in the city of Portland, it's not that way. But if you get too far out into the hinterlands, it is different. Just like if you go into Eastern California.
Yeah, I was gonna say go to Fresno, go to Central California
Mhm.
where the farms are still owned by farmers and not conglomerates.
Mhm.
Right. Oh, that's a red spot there. It's like, oh yeah, we know that. That's why I always say
Mhm.
the Bay Area.
Yep.
Hell, just over
Go
the
too far
foothills,
east. Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, oh, very much aware. But no, California is a blue state, but it's always had a red part because of the uh farmers. That's why
It's been that way in Washington and Oregon as well.
that's why Cesar Chavez is a big deal here because he's the one who like went for them to make the United Farm Workers. So you're fighting these white people who came from the Dust Bowl, can grow things here and got illegal aliens. They always did. They always put them in shacks and did that, but they're all red. They've always been red. So,
Mhm.
no, I have no illusion about that. I know you know where not to go if you're dressed in drag.
Needs to remember that the grapes of wrath
Monterey?
is allegory. However, it is allegory based in actual fact.
Uh-huh.
People escaped Oklahoma and the Dust Bowl for California.
Yeah, we have the Dust Bowl and the Black Migration both here. So that's why California is interesting, but it's still a blue state. We might have lost it if Idiot wound up being like a good president, but it ain't gonna happen now.
New
So
York City has a red island. Staten Island is totally red. Interesting, Adam.
it makes
What
sense.
about all the rich people there? None of them are Republicans?
It should all be Republicans. All of our tech people have turned into Republicans.
Yep. I don't
Atherton
know
is
that
now
it's
red.
much better in Seattle.
Except the rich people here are bucking out of Dodge and moving to places like Texas. We've
I
had
have heard this.
Yeah, one super rich couple went to Texas. They came back.
Oh,
Oh yeah, they came
they
back. They told
learned
me,
some, huh?
well, she was brown and he was white. They're super rich. They moved over to Texas and realized they don't care how much money you have. So they came back. Uh-huh. And now they're trying to become Democrat again. So, because they realized, whoops, and they made a big deal about
Really?
leaving. So, oh yeah, get to say I told you so for real. I think she was
See,
actually East Indian.
Minnesota has the same thing. Minnesota outstate, outside, the more rural areas are very red. Which is one of the advantages Tim Walz had is he was elected
By the big cities.
by by more than just the big city. He came from a red district,
Right. He
if
related
I
to them
recall
more.
correctly. Yeah. He's got some purple in him.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, California, or they're finding out in California, the big houses they left, if they hadn't sold them in time, they've been coming back,
Okay.
which is funnier than hell. So, because it's like just people like me are going, I told you so. Money doesn't mean anything in places like that.
You learn.
Uh-huh. We really thought
You
that money would
learn.
matter. It's like makes me wonder about Zuckerberg. He's going to Texas probably alone. His wife probably is not going to go with him or his children.
Interesting.
Huh?
That's interesting.
Well, why would she? She's actually e- established here. The children or the San Francisco hospital is named after her mother or something. It's like because they built the wing, and it's like she is very established here. His children are half Chinese. It's like, what the hell would they do in Texas? So the rumor is that she's not going with him. That's why he's been acting the way he has.
So what's next on the agenda for politics?
And I got them.
The market arrested its free fall. Not that any of that matters, considering is how we've lost the trust of the entire world at this point.
We lost the trust of the entire world a couple of days ago before. Yeah. No, we're matched last week, but not with reputation. With reputation, we're in the gutter. So the stocks have matched what was last week low, but the reputation we have is completely in the gutter.
We'll see if the bond market continues to fall. We used to have a fighting Democratic Party. Mike Cole Quill
Quill.
was a pugnacious union leader.
But the union leaders have gone to republicanism. The Teamster dude is a Republican and votes for Trump. What the hell? San Francisco, big union town. California, nobody even talks about it, but big union state. Frickin' Cesar Chavez has probably a street named after him in every big city. It's like, what the hell is he doing being Republican?
Well, in Minnesota, the Democratic Party is called the Democratic Farmer Labor Union.
It's like, how did they convince them to be?
It's not the Democratic Party. It's the Democratic Farmer Labor Union.
Yeah, the UAW.
Hello.
Yeah, everything used to be Democrat, and then the Republicans got it's like they're covered with a bunch of Jimmy Hoffas now, but Jimmy Hoffa wasn't bright enough to be a Republican. So,
Well, it's culture again. It's culture. It's the lack of tolerance for ambiguity. If
but
people have not had experience with ambiguity, they want everything to be black or white.
the leader of the Teamsters was supposed to be like everybody else. So even though he was a leader and had a ton of money, he still had a house without a gate. That was the thing, So
Yeah,
his son was probably just joined. It was a whole thing about it, and now he's just like the rest of them.
I know. I know. You're
I think it's
not
so funny. I
wrong.
know it's funny that I know things like that, even though I'm a tree hugger.
You're not wrong.
So, but because, like I said, we had big union, big longshoremen. We have the port of Oakland here. I don't even want to think what those guys are thinking about. So we're lucky they haven't had like a riot at the port or a walkout or something.
I I don't know what the markets are going to do.
I think they're still gonna keep going up and down and up and down. And when everybody buys what they want to buy and make $1 billion, then it'll probably go back up again. But we have to get him off the Chinese tariff thing. What the hell is he thinking? We get everything from freaking China.
I don't know what he's thinking. I mean, this is go to war against your greatest foe while you're destroying your friendships with all your best friends.
No, it's I want to be a mean girl, so I'm going to make the big mean girl suffer, and I'm going to step on all the people below me.
If the Democrats start to fight, they will win back a lot of the people.
Yeah.
Politics is all
Yeah.
animal spirits.
Well, that's why it's a big deal that the Teamster guy is Republican. It's like he needs to be a Democrat because then he'll get all of his people, which obviously aren't his people anymore. His son's probably a doctor instead of a Teamster, so it's like, no, they're not gonna, there's nobody there to make those people do things because we don't relate to them. They're Teamsters, they're union guys. We're not union people, we're tech people here. And it's like, we don't count, we can't get those people involved. So it's the problem. It's just that we can't get to the people that would make the decisions if they were all rallied around it. So, I mean, the protest of the rally was awesome. I saw some great
Yeah, we talk about that.
yeah, signs,
Talk
and I
about
had
that.
1,000 people in Alameda. 1,000 people.
We
That was
had
amazing.
between 3 and 5,000 people in my little suburb, and
That's a little
not
suburb.
10 miles away,
In Portland?
not 10 miles away in downtown Portland, there had to have been 35,000 people.
We were everywhere. Oh, San Francisco was huge too. I stayed here because I was like, we need to show support for Alameda. And then it was like, they say 1,000, they figure probably 2,000 because everybody who RSVP'd probably brought somebody. I brought Papa Cat. So it's like, and at one point on the stream, I just stand next to a light pole and I'm just waiting for it to end. And it just kept going and going and going. It was like, It was amazing.
I was really disappointed that my stream timed out because you guys, the honking for the people lining the streets was unreal.
Oh yeah, we had honking too, and it was so funny. Our rally would stop at the stoplights. So people would are like pods of people. It was like,
Mhm.
of course we're all polite. We're Democrats.
Yeah. So people just because there was no place to march where we were,
Right.
people just lined the streets.
Well, like I
It
said,
was
my favorite thing was the four people outside of a retirement community in Florida who one of their signs said, we're protesting here because it's too dense over there or something like that. So that was the really cool one. It was like, how can you not be freaked out? He was obviously freaked out enough to take the tariffs back because if he wasn't freaked out, he wouldn't have done it. He would have said, screw you. So,
Oh, I think people got to him.
oh yeah.
I don't think he gives rat's hyena
No,
about
no. No,
about the protests.
I think it just made him look bad when the tariffs didn't go. He can't look bad. He didn't care about the protest, but it really wasn't about him. It was about showing people that we could all go out and do something.
I can't believe people don't have whiplash. I
I
tariffs
know.
good, tariffs bad, tariffs up, tariffs down.
Deal, and they all
It's a
say New
new
Deal.
Dr. Seuss book.
Not New Deal, the real whatever it is. They were saying Trump's deal or whatever, and it was like, oh, really? So if you take it back, that means something, huh?
What is
Art of the
what's her
deal.
name on the Bulwark been saying? She says there's 3 reasons they're talking about these tariffs, right? One is that they're there to make a deal, one is that they're there to bring back manufacturing, and one is that they're there to make money.
Money. That's what
Those
matters.
3 are all mutually exclusive.
Hopefully, this won't get us demonetized.
What is it?
It's
Tariffs
Daffy
are
Duck and
on.
Bugs Bunny.
Ah, that's funny.
Ah, so, well, I think people got to it because, well, of course, I didn't even know there was a Charles Schwab still alive. They're from here. So it must be Charles Schwab 3 or something, giggling about making a ton of money in the White House. That was also one of the things this morning. And it's like, and the only reason it got my attention was because they said Charles Schwab. And I'm like, I thought he was dead. So it must be a 3 because their headquarters are here. So, oh, weirdly enough, it was one of the first mass shootings was one California, which was Charles Schwab back in the 80s. So,
Really?
oh yeah, it's you'd actually recognize the building because the building's round. So yeah, I can't remember who did it, but yeah, it was one of the first ones was here. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I also a friend of mine's mom worked at Charles Schwab. So when I heard that, I sort of piqued my interest. I was like, they're showing them laughing about losing people losing money and them making money. Talk about devaluing the dollar. Yeah, I bet. That's what I figured
The
too out of
bond market spooked all of them. Damn. Well, like, no shit.
well, they
Bond
were
market.
they keep saying Russia, and like I keep saying, look what he did. He killed all but 2 of the oligarchs off, and they live a nice middle class lifestyle right now. So that's what was gonna happen to them. But hey, we don't know what we're talking about. We're just, regular people on the street.
You destroy faith in the rule of law and the United States government, that's going to tank the fucking bond market.
Take the fucking world. There's just not enough poverty in the world. Let's add to it. Do they think that poor people are just going to die off eventually, so we'll shrink our numbers? It doesn't work that way.
I
Measles is up to 1,500 cases. Is leprosy going to come back now, too?
Measles is still growing, huh?
Yeah, 1,500.
Japan started dumping bombs. Yeah.
Yep. I don't blame them. I had to like calm down another friend who was like, my dad's retired in his 401k, and I'm like, just let it sit. It's like,
It is
don't,
what it is.
yeah, don't give your dad any advice. Let him do what he's gonna do. He's totally a conservative financial guy, Democrat though, but he's probably just gonna let it sit. So, tech guy. So it's like, just leave him alone about it. Don't bug him about it. Let him do what he's gonna do. So,
Numbers hurt.
well, we know. At least another year, unless I can figure out some way to nicely get hundreds of thousands of people, which doesn't seem to be the recipe for anything nowadays. If you and I got no huge fight, we'd probably wind up with 1,000,000 people, but otherwise, no.
No.
That's what I
I
mean. No. So people are way into making people suffer. Jerry Springer is gone. Now we have YouTube.
and it's who can trash who the most. It's just everybody's trying to clamor over everybody else just to try to reach the top, and there's no heed because there's no time,
Nope.
there's no space, there's no breathing room. People are terrified.
Yeah, and they should be, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We basically did it to ourselves. And I just mean as the whole, not us.
I understand as a whole. I was thinking this week a lot about our conversation last week and being ashamed to be an American.
I'm not ashamed this week, but I don't want anybody to come here because I don't want them arrested.
Yeah. Well, the thing I've really been thinking about is um what are the reparations we're going to have to make to the world for what we've done here?
We can't.
How do we possibly begin to atone for the damage?
We can't. The best thing for the world to do is cut us off and just treat us like Greenland or just something over there because there's no way
it's
for us to make up for
just
this.
it's I it's beyond comprehension
Oh, yeah.
how we atone for this.
And they're still going to cut taxes for the rich people. They're still doing that in Congress. So
Yep.
haven't learned.
Passed today, right?
Yeah, but it's only passed on one side, so I think it didn't say that it was going to him yet. So otherwise, we probably would have heard a lot more about it today.
It's got to go to the Senate.
Yeah.
I wish the
So
party would use George Lakoff's rhetorical frames.
don't know
Yes.
that one.
No, it's not which, Kristen.
Yeah, no, it's not. What?
Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not. So where were we? Brain fog got me. You
Calling us
remember?
the ecumenical us.
Yes.
I'm also like distracted by the furry beast. She's been yelling and now she's writhing on the floor. But Papa Cat's here to like keep her occupied.
I've got I've got Orion in my lap demanding pets.
Bummer.
There
I
are
wish,
worse things.
yeah, I
There
wish
are
she would be on the desk or something because it's not going to matter if she gets hair up my nose. I'm not going to tell. Ah. Ah.
So we don't know what's going to happen with tariffs.
Yeah, Cricket, I
Just
understand that
know
one.
that no matter what we do, we look inconsistent and untrustworthy at this point.
The only reason to get our reputation back is to impeach him. It ain't going to happen. Especially when you have crazy men like RFK Jr., which I hate even calling him that. I should just call him Robert Kennedy, talking about that's how I heard about measles because he said there were was it 1,500 measles and you know, we have to take care of this. And I'm like, it was almost gone, you fool.
Reparations, very feasible. Tribunals have been done. I've been paying since 2016. Many have been paying for a long time, an entire socialist economy being built with white reparations. Yes,
Yeah,
Kristen. I know. I
but
know. This is
I meant to
this
go into that.
is on a global scale,
Yeah.
and I know that reparations on a I mean, I know. I know. I'm just saying it is people need to be talking about it now
Yeah, but we
because
can't
we
even
cannot come out on the other end of this going, well, I don't understand why everybody hates us.
that's what they're gonna do, dear.
I don't understand why everybody hates us.
Yes, because
Well,
we're
'cause
total
you can't
jerks and brought
betray
the
all your best friends.
yeah. When your best friend goes and sleeps with your boyfriend while you're in the other room,
Right. Right.
why do they hate us? And as she goes, ha ha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
So we got to be talking about taking at a minimum being accountable that we did this as Americans.
yeah, but we
And
can't do that until our own economy is fixed. So
right.
reparations are just the Amazon wish list of the world because we have to fix our own economy first.
Yes. They they have to go hand in hand. We can't fix our own economy on our own. It's going to be impossible.
We don't work that way as Americans, though. It's got to be us first.
Well, we're going to have to fucking figure something out, aren't
But
we?
we don't. Like I said, and nothing's going to happen while he's in office anyway, unfortunately, because he's a freaking idiot. And, the German guy, that's what they're calling him. Who is it? Steve Miller. They're calling him the German.
Pee-wee German.
German chancellor?
German. Pee-wee German. That's what they're calling Steve Miller.
Stephen Miller.
Stephen Miller.
Not
Stephen
Stephen
Not
Miller.
Steve Miller. Stephen Miller. They're calling him Pee-wee German.
Pee-wee German. That's hilarious.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, I think it fits. I think he needs to be disappeared if it was possible. Just send him to somewhere, yeah, send him to Greenland and don't let him come home. It's like, I don't want him off. I don't wish anybody dead, but he just needs to be disappeared. Put him in a witness protection program because if he's got half a brain, he should want to be in one.
Yes. Hold on just a sec.
Yeah, I wouldn't care if they all went. Oh, I lost you. How did I
I'm
lose you?
here. I'm
Oh,
here.
you're here. Okay. Yeah, it's like I wouldn't be surprised if they all want to be in a witness protection program. Let them go. I don't care. Just get rid of them.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My camera is not
Steven Miller is the puppet
cooperating.
of hate. Ah, definitely.
We may be crashing.
We're crashing,
Oh, no, we're back.
and your green screen's gone.
And my green screen is gone. Let's change to the camera back.
Yeah, I just took it as, you know what? I'm an American. Let them deal with the background.
Well, it just.
Since we're all a bunch of narcissistic fucks anyway. I'm making Papa Cat laugh. This is what happens when the Dayquil hits.
Stephen Miller is the pompatus of hate.
Yes.
Yes, that makes. See, you were getting me very confused about the whole.
Well, no, your best answer last night was, I'm not even stoned.
Exactly. You're getting me very confused between the Steve Miller Band and Stephen Miller. I was not. It was causing a meltdown in my brain.
Would actually explain why I had that stupid song kept coming into my head because I would hear Stephen Miller and think Steve Miller.
Ah, that's a terrible connection to have.
I was wondering why that song stuck. I knew you liked that stupid song, and it kept showing up in my head. And I couldn't understand why. Welcome to Oldtifa.
Yeah.
I know. I've done the ultimate and not politeness, which is hold a tissue to my nose the whole time. If my mother was alive, she'd smack me upside the head.
It's
Yeah,
a
and I've got a
little you're a little raw. You doing okay?
I've got a cold, but like I said, it's not any worse than having brain fog, honestly.
Well, that's good. That's
It's the
important.
weird part. It's like my four syllable like cover or voice would be disappearing with the cold, but it's like it feels exactly the same. Which is gonna make me annoyed as hell, I'm sure, for poor Papa Cat because, that's where I came up with, a cold is not brain damage.
You'd think that the cold brain fog would be additive to the brain fog.
No, it doesn't. It just sort of keeps going. Ecumenical, eh? Yeah, ecumenical. I learned that a long time ago. Isn't that network Ecumenical Liberation Army? Isn't that what they called themselves? Network. It was Patty Hearst. I
No,
think no, was it ecumenical?
No.
it wasn't ecumenical.
Great
What
Steve
was the
Spillwog.
name of the group that Patty Hearst was associated with,
Liberation
Adam?
SLA.
The
Symbionese Liberation Army.
Symbionese Liberation Army.
Remember
Yes.
they did their bank robbery in San Francisco. That and she was a Hearst. That was a big damn deal here. So
I remember my mother talking about it. It was a big deal.
oh, yeah, when she showed up with a gun at a bank, everybody just went bonkers. They turned from the Hearsts are to be pitied to the Hearst fuck them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my mom didn't have much sympathy for Ms. Hearst.
Uh-huh, and considering her dad was the, uh, editor or the owner of the Chronic or the Examiner, so, I mean, the Hearsts were huge here, and,
Yes.
then she goes and joins them and then tries to do the, brainwashing, and that didn't work, and winds up in Dublin at the women's facility that is not open anymore, I heard. Was the Ecumenical Liberation Front? Or, oh,
No,
Ecumenical
Symbionese.
Legi it was the Ecumenical Liberation Army for, the movie network.
Oh, for the movie network.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one I quote a lot because it's perfect for right now.
Yes.
So Network is like it's one of my favorite movies and so fits right now.
Adam, the
If
first
anyone can-
concert I ever went to was the Culture Club Karma Chameleon tour.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God. That must have been fun, especially considering what he was wearing back then. Oh my God. You want to talk about gender dysmorphia?
Yep. That's the first concert I ever went to.
Wow. We all know me and Willie Nelson.
Yep.
Uh,
So it seemed like, all in all, a quiet news week in comparison to what we've been accustomed to.
well, yeah, when the markets crash and the world is about to run out of, or the world is about to make gold completely worthless, I think, it might mean something. But I
They
have
are
more.
trying to kick out all manner of students here on student visas.
Oh yeah, that's what I heard this afternoon, which would be
And
interesting considering how many are here in around with Stanford and Berkeley.
well, foreign students are a significant part of the income stream.
They pay the grants,
They pay
the
out of
scholarship.
state tuition.
So somebody said it. They pay for the scholarships. They pay
They
for
Ugh.
the low cost kids going to school, and it's like so that would that would actually make sense why he's kicking them out because then poor people can't get education because F4 poor people they don't matter.
And he's talking about revoking legal aliens' social security numbers.
Jesus. Well, Elon Antoinette is a freaking illegal alien because he got here on a Einstein visa, and he's not Einstein. I just saw the latest one where they picked on him where he left one of his gaming things and he's talking about oh my God, that natural stutter of his is amazing. And when he realizes it, it gets worse
Mm-hmm.
and he makes no sense. He sounds like just another computer geek who's not even really a lot of computer geek.
No, that was the story. He tried to live stream playing a video game.
He got bullied out.
Yes.
And the one that got him out was was it somebody was re-streaming or re-trolling of Sinclair. His last baby mama said that I'm getting a hold of you through here because I can't get a hold of you anywhere else. That's the one he turned it off on.
So the social security numbers is revoking the social security numbers of over 6,000 immigrants who had been granted temporary legal status.
Well, social security cards have only become like important only in the past 30 years. Remember we used to carry ours. Nobody cared who knew anybody's social security number. They built the credit foundation on that. It's not like they can't make something else up if you get the hackers mad enough. That's a thing we also haven't done. We haven't gotten the hackers mad enough. So
I
once they
think the
get mad enough,
hackers are all on the wrong side right
no,
now.
no. I can guarantee you, not the heavy duty ones. The heavy duty ones are on our side. They may be doing things we don't know, but
What's still on YouTube, Kristen? Yes, Cricket, that's another thing. There are many foreign students,
Dominican Republic.
foreign-born doctors who come here.
That's where we get most of our nurses is Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
So it's not like Randy Newman. Hello, little brother.
How you doing, Dusty? What is new? We were talking about the good news before we got into the not good news.
Now even Marilyn calls me foggy. Everybody's gonna start calling me Foggy soon.
Everybody is going to start calling you Foggy.
I know, that's gonna be funny. Elon's
Oh,
game stream,
Elon's
right.
game stream is still on YouTube. Got it, Kristen.
Okay.
Yes. He made
Well,
a fool of himself. He made a fool of himself.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, why did he go on it when everybody already knew that it was bolstered by somebody else? It's like, what is wrong with this guy? He lives in a
Right.
different world. He really does. Nobody would do that. They'd like go, okay, you found me out and
I don't,
disappear.
yeah.
I have dated enough gaming geeks in my time. Luckily enough, Papa Cat wasn't one of them, thank God, to know what the mindset of them. You know, it's like, well, besides the fact that he hired someone to do it or anyway, that's
Right. He
weird.
probably wasn't doing the playing himself anyway.
No, he wasn't. That's why he didn't know what to do. That's why
But
it
the
was
thing
easy.
is, then you'd think he'd hire somebody actually competent at the game. It makes no sense either way you look at it.
A female gamer a couple of years ago got caught because her boyfriend was doing her game as she said she was doing it in front of people. Somebody found out. So you can't even do that. So they would have caught him if he was not, because somebody was doing they just went totally, she was very famous and they realized her boyfriend was literally like below her or something gaming and she was just moving her fingers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these are freaks, man. That's why it's like, he couldn't do it live. He worked up to it. They busted his ass, and then he went and did it again. So of course everybody's gonna freaking like mess with him. I saw the stream. I was laughing my butt off because it's just like, and he's like, stop it," and blocking them, and they come back as something else. It was so cool. I'm not a gamer geek, but I like to watch them.
Like to watch him go down in flames.
Everybody dresses like monkeys in New York. I don't understand that. Do you get that? He lived in New York for a year.
I don't get it, Adam.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I have a flying monkey. I love my flying monkey.
Your flying monkey's adorable.
Flying great, I know. Woo. You should get the pattern from Marilyn. She said she'd give it out.
Crocheting our, yeah, I should. I
Yeah.
think I want the dumpster fire pattern.
Well, we're gonna have two people making dumpster fires. Marilyn and Cheryl.
Yeah.
So it's like this
I'm
is
not gonna
Cheryl.
make them for people. I'm just gonna
Ah,
make one for me,
well,
assuming
you
I
should
even make one.
for in case we have to pay for somebody's lawyer again.
Yeah. Oh, that
But
was your Randy Newman tribute. Got it, Adam.
like monkeys. I don't know that song. You figure I would. Because of course, when he became popular with that song, they play his whole album. So
Right.
that's why I knew. Sorry. I have a question about Gavin Newsom. I really don't know what about from here. What are your thoughts? He's an asshole. He needs to shut the fuck up and go away. How about that? Whoops.
I don't
Yeah.
disagree.
He turned
He's not
trying to be Mr.
mine.
Maryland dumpster fire. Yeah, I have a Cheryl one, and I have a potato for Maryland, and this one. Um, Newsom got a podcast, and then he thought he was going to be Mr. Centrist and invite people. His first person was a heavy duty white supremacist, and all he did was kiss his butt, which is basically he just went, yeah, cool, didn't do a damn thing and pissed everybody off. Took care of him ever being president, so don't even think about it. The second person was pretty much the same thing. He went on Midas last week or the week before last, and he was
Trying to
still
explain
acting.
himself.
Yeah, he tried to, but he was still the jerk I figured he must have been. It explains his ex-wife Guilfoyle. Now I get it. People in San Francisco called him a snake, and I didn't know why. when he was mayor here. There were a lot of people who did not like him, and I didn't know why. And now I know. So,
Oh.
oh yeah, no, it was like, hell, yeah, the older crowd was just like, he's a snake, he's a jerk, blah blah blah. That's when he was married to Guilfoyle. So, but it explains
Okay.
her now. He's just like her.
For the layout.
Yeah, I haven't been impressed.
I was so bummed when he did that because it would have been nice to have a pretty president again. But then again, if idiot insists on a third term, we'll have Obama back in. You know it. We'll just, kidnap him and make him go to everything, and then make him president, and then make
I
Kamala
am
vice president.
still waiting. I cannot wait to see how everybody tries to spin the Supreme Court ruling.
How they try to what?
Spin.
In it? Oh,
I mean, I don't know
I
how
have
you
no clue.
spin unanimous.
Yeah, unanimous. That means even Clarence Thomas.
Even Clarence Thomas said this is a bridge fucking too far.
That's intense, man. He does not go against his Republican
Scalia,
minors.
not Scalia.
Mm.
Uh, who's the other one who votes with Clarence Thomas all the time?
Isn't that the guy who did something wrong near a dumpster in Stanford?
Oh yeah,
The
and that one too.
white guy, yeah. Newsom met Guilfoyle when he visited a church and she was living on the wall. Well, I wondered forever. I'm like, how did she wind up with him? It didn't make any sense. And it was like, oh no, now it makes sense. Oh, because this wife is kept in the dark. She is mushroomed like you wouldn't believe. She comes out only for uh like things to do with the kids. They're all perfect and blonde. So, but yeah, no, that was the joke around here. It was like he's going to be president, Kamala's going to be vice president, so that way we could try again when he does his 8 years. And it's like, now, fine, let him and Kamala do it, and then he's going to disappear by accident somewhere. The FBI will put him somewhere, and she'll be president, and then she'll be in for, was it 11 years, because he'll be gone within the first year. Yeah. See, I
That
can
is a
dream just
way to
as much.
do it, to serve more than 2 terms. I mean, he's not technically, he's not wrong.
Oh yeah, but he still has to run for office. I tried to relay that info to my wife. We both are wondering about him. Yeah, no, that's pretty much, you can even look him up. Everybody is mad at him. We're all
He,
mad at him. He totally traitored us, and he
he
hasn't backed down.
he tried to walk an
He didn't know how to do it. That was the thing. He thought he would bring people together, and all he did was piss people off.
has he canceled the podcast yet?
Not that I know of. I mean, last week he did Midas, so I think he was still doing it. Even Ben, the one who's on all the time, even he was like really nice to Newsom, and I wanted to go, would you just smack
Yeah.
him upside the head? Annie Bashir is one to watch. Okay.
Annie
So yeah, I
Bashir
wasn't
is
too
one to
amused with
watch.
the interview. It wasn't hostile, but it wasn't super nice, but it was nice, and that drove me nuts. It's like, yeah, because he was very much starstruck with him. Very much. So that was the bummer. It was like, I wish you weren't starstruck with him, dude. You need to ask him like real questions.
I watched
So,
an interview recently with Hakeem Jeffries, and I was not impressed.
really?
Yeah.
Uh,
Not there was just no there. There was
he's the
it,
one that did the filibuster, right?
no, that was
No.
Cory Booker.
Okay. I always get them confused for some reason. And it's not because they're black, so shut up. I
Yeah.
grew up here.
Hakeem is
Well, he's a theologian, isn't he?
no,
He
the
got
theologian is now the name escapes me. I don't
only
know if Hakeem is or not.
hyper educated black men. Oh, let's see, Black Panthers.
Hakeem, he wasn't. There was nothing. There was no passion there.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of them have had it basically browbeaten off of them. So,
Interesting.
but Cory Booker, sorry, so shallow at that moment. Pretty
They're
president.
both from the same state. They can't run on the same ticket. Is there a rule that says they can't run on the same ticket, Dusty?
It's called a primary.
I think you can pick any vice president you want.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think there's any such thing as politeness anymore when it comes to any of it. So, as long
But
as it's
we're
not
not having Gavin Newsom as president.
not even vice president. I don't even want him in the
Gavin
cabinet.
has disqualified himself from the running.
I don't trust him.
We are done.
And Jerry Brown, I'm sure, is pissed. So, yeah.
And I don't think Kamala's running again. I don't think it's fair to ask her.
You can't blame her.
No.
You really can't. So, because they all went bonkers when she said, I didn't say I told you so. It's like, why do you
But she
care?
fucking did tell that she did tell us.
Her and Hillary, man, I told you so. So, it just proved we will not vote a woman in yet. So we have to wait another 10 years, 20 years.
There is a rule. Interesting, Dusty. I didn't know that.
Is a rule?
Dusty says there's a rule.
Is that a legal rule or an etiquette rule? You know what I mean.
I
Don't
know
laugh.
exactly what you mean.
Thank you.
Is it an actual, like, enforceable rule or is it, like Trump rule?
Yeah, or etiquette. You don't do that.
Right. We
Since
just
we're so
don't do
stuck
that.
on freaking etiquette, Democrats need to knock that crap off. It's why DeSantis isn't the VP. I thought DeSantis was in the VP because he wore white rain boots. You know, with his bloomers. That's an
I don't
interesting one.
know.
Look it up.
Look it up.
My producer. When he retires, he'll be my producer. But until then, I rule. But no, I thought DeSantis wasn't the VP because Trump just got mad at him. For real. I never heard that he wasn't allowed to be.
Yeah.
12th Amendment.
12th Amendment.
I
Weird. Why didn't anybody
didn't
ever mention
realize
it?
it was a rule.
Nobody bothered to mention it. They kept saying that he wasn't because of this, that, or the other. That's weird.
Well,
That's mainstream media, right? They're the ones who helped put him here. Yeah.
now I look the fool with my political science degree and all.
Why would you know the 12th Amendment?
Does he want
Yeah, that's what he won, Oldtifa 0.
Yes, exactly.
No, Adam, 12th Amendment.
You don't think there's a hard and fast rule?
Papa Cat said 12th Amendment.
Yes, well, we're also trying to get Trump to run for a third term, and I think that's in the amendments too. Last I checked.
I want him to run so we can have Obama back.
There's also this thing called habeas corpus that's not even a fucking amendment, y'all. No, it is an amendment. But still.
After you said thank you. Um, I was gonna say something, I can't remember. That's normal.
Brain fog.
Ah, no, it was something interesting, I'm sure.
You didn't talk about these things happened.
What?
The education secretary confused artificial intelligence with condiments.
Hear that? Did you hear that?
No.
The education secretary confused
I
AI with A1. Is that literally AI with A1?
one is going to be the new thing in school.
Got KI up.
Yep.
She was relaxing. Now she's up looking it up with that face. It's like, what? Oh,
AI with A1. Confused AI with A1.
Papa Cat was talking. He said, yes, we're learning about steak sauce in school. Well, come on. 420. Have you heard about that one yet, Kay? My
What
friends are
about
going
it?
bonkers about it because he did. He said something when his first day that was like national. If he had to be National Guard, he set out on 420. So now I've had two friends already like go bonkers about it. The first person who told me I laughed. I couldn't help it. I thought it was hilarious. And then it was like, oh, you're serious.
That
And the
he's
other one
going to
was
legalize it? No, I'm confused. Tell
that
me
he's
this.
going to send out the National Guard and take over, basically.
Oh,
Yeah, remember that was a 3-month thing. And the BFF sent it to me, and I'm like, "Hon, I know. I heard it, but I didn't
I've
think he
heard
was
it. It's not,
serious."
I don't think it's serious.
Well, it's not now, I would say. It could have been 2 days ago, but not now.
After midterms will be wrecking day for the Republicans. Yes, that's assuming we live till midterms.
Exactly. And I love
Um,
Adam. She confused her A1 source.
Hilarious, Adam. If insider trading doesn't do it first. Heinz 57 in schools only. A1 is sus.
Don't make me laugh, you guys. I'm
Heinz
gonna cough.
57 is the best for French fries.
Yes. Yes. I don't understand A1. Heinz 57, or as I think my dad called
Understand
it, fancy
A1
ketchup.
for actual steak. Like it's okay for actual steak.
No, my dad called Heinz 57 fancy ketchup.
Heinz 57 is fancy ketchup.
It is fancy ketchup.
I will agree with that. So is chili sauce fancy ketchup.
I've never tried chili sauce.
Oh, I make my meatloaf glaze out of chili sauce.
Oh, really? So you have to make
Yeah.
meatloaf when we're up there then.
Meatloaf glaze is made out of chili sauce, apple cider vinegar, and brown sugar.
Oh, and I told you that my dad, or I told everybody on Friday that my dad, when I saw him for lunch, he was telling me that there was a timeshare available that we could go up at a certain time, that they were going to the lake at a certain time. All I can figure is that my aunts told him to shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my aunts got on his case because the week before it was like, I don't know, and you're gonna come visit someone and blah 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 blah. They talk to each other once a week, so I have a feeling my aunts went, knock it off. We want to see
A1
her.
for a new stakeholders economy. Really, Adam?
Shut it!
A1 only on steak. Yes, I agree.
Yes, no, I agree
A1
with
is
that too.
good on steak.
I've never used AM1 for anything but steak. And even then I barely put anything on my steak, so I'm one of those freaks who likes my steak blood rare. That's it, thank you.
Well, I prefer prime rib.
Well, I
If
like a
given a
rare prime
choice.
rib too.
I prefer my prime rib like medium rare.
The only thing I like cooked is corned beef because it stays in the crock pot for 12 hours. So that's it.
You
Everything
kind of
else,
have to have it cooked.
never tried it rare. We got close though, because we
It'd
cooked
be
this.
tough.
Huh?
Tough. It
Yeah,
would be
it
tough. There's a reason you cook the shit out of that stuff.
didn't fall apart.
Yeah.
We didn't realize we were using basically a broken crock pot, so it never that it was on for the 8 hours, and they liked it. I didn't. My brother and Eddie or Papa Cat. I was like,
Feed one juices. Oh my good. You'll put A1 on a hamburger? Oh, on a pork chop. It could be good on a pork chop.
yeah, actually
I would
might
try
work.
it on a pork chop.
Pork chops are weird for me. I can only eat the meat in a pork chop. The fat makes me sick. I don't know why.
But you can eat bacon, right?
I can eat bacon or you can eat ham, but the
And it's
fat
the same fat.
the fat on the pork chop will make me sick. Always has. It's so weird.
That's funny.
It's like maybe there's some trauma in my past that does it, but yeah. My dad would laugh because he'd hear me barfing. He'd go, "Oh, she ate the fat."
Just trim your pork chop closer.
We didn't know for the longest time. I think he was the first one to notice it because we used to have Wednesdays were pork chops. He was military.
Wednesdays were pork chops.
Yeah. So we used to do things like that. So he finally put two and two together. It's like, I think she's barfing. No, my
I
dad's
like
only
pork
18 years older than me, so my mother had two children half the time.
half the time, yeah.
Oh, they were 15 years apart, so you're testing the delay of what?
He's testing the delay, how long it is between when he sends a message and when he sees it pop up on the screen.
You should
And then
actually,
how long we respond to it. So there's a delay.
there's always a delay.
Yeah. So he's just testing how long is the delay.
See, this is why I want to learn how to do these things.
Okay.
Or you
How
know,
long's the delay, Dusty?
I do like my new microphone though.
Yeah, it works nice. It
Well, I've
works
got
really
it.
well. I never have any trouble with it. It does what it's supposed to do.
I've got it like almost an arm's length down and it can still hear me.
Oh, yeah. Mine's at least an arm's length away.
It was the only thing I was worried about
20
when I got it.
seconds. Wow.
20 seconds? Well, that's where you are. How's ours? He's not paying attention. He usually has his headphones on and everything else. And it's like now he's playing with his phone. But we're the ones who should have a horrible delay because for some reason, that's why you are always the one who's hosting.
Yeah, because it does that weirdness when you try to.
And I haven't bribed the brother back to make us the monster network. So, because somebody is probably a gamer. That's what it is. Somebody has a ton of freaking bandwidth eating in the commune. So he's probably a gamer. I thought it would be PORN, but
So you don't have your own wireless?
oh, we do. But it's,
Oh, you shared the pipe. Got it. And somebody.
and we're not fiber. So we actually put me on Ethernet, and it still wasn't helping. So brother's going to start blocking people so he can fix our. Yeah.
Okay.
He would know because he's the one who used to do what he used to do work for YouTube on the side.
Got it.
we're playing Wheel of Trivia.
Yeah, Wheel of Trivia is when it gets it, but he's annoyed because he told me he watches me on the sly, so and he doesn't like delays, so he's going to come here and fix it, Mr. Network guy. Oh, excuse me, that was gross. I'm easily abused.
You said amused, right?
Sort of like the cow.
Or you're
Easily
told that you've been
amused.
abused. Like, don't give people ideas.
Well, the login for Restream, what was it? Do we have a cow for Restream?
Like, what? Cow?
Hey man, he's like,
Restream?
a cow? And I started laughing. That's when I put brain damage. A cold is not brain damage.
A cow for
A cow, it's
Restream?
because I didn't get my D out. I said, do we have a cow
Oh.
with Restream? He's like, what? Came in across the hallway and it's just like, did you say a cow? And of course, I started laughing and then I start coughing. YouTube isn't delayed, Restream is delayed. So the chat is. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, no. It's one of the things my brother doesn't do. He'll never teach me networking because then I won't need him.
Well, at least he wants to be needed.
Oh yeah, no, he even worked for Papa Cat one time when they had a startup because everybody in the aughts had a startup at least once.
Everybody had a startup at least once.
Yeah, and he was networking for Papa Cat because he was between he quit when they wanted to make him manager, so he quit and go somewhere else. So he made the rounds. NASA, Microsoft, all them.
She
And
said
so
cow.
she said my cow. No, I said macaw. Yeah, tomorrow I'm not going to be able to laugh. Tomorrow I'll be coughing if I'm laughing. So I did look it up though to make sure it wasn't the flu, that it was just a cold. It
Yeah.
depends on where it starts. It started here. So because of course we never got our flu shots because we're stupid. Yeah, sorry. It's like with me going out on Mondays, you figure I would have gotten my flu shot immediately. What?
I wonder if
I am working. Oh, I'll have to wear a mask. I'll have a Hello Kitty mask on Monday.
Oh, you have to work on Monday.
I'm still working. Yeah, my promoter was like, he hasn't heard from his person. So I'm like, fine.
Well, that's good. You've been enjoying it.
Yeah, no, I have. It's just, it wears me out. I'm probably getting a lot more used to it because I did have the heaviest night, which was anniversary night. So, okay, night, Dusty.
Okay, sleep well, Dusty.
Stream starts at 9 your time. Okay. Yeah, I know it starts early. I'm so not like into hanging out at that point. I like doing transition on a Friday. So yeah, no, I asked my promoter, I'm like, am I working on Monday? Or this is my last week. And he just looked at me and went, no, it's not my last week, is it? And so I was telling the old folks, don't make fun of the person who comes back. And don't say you miss me, okay?
Right.
You'll get the custard out. I'll make you laugh. Oh my God.
What are you doing?
Being a
Sorry.
dog?
He's being a dog.
Oh,
Over here.
Papa Cat wants soda.
Um,
Ain't gonna happen, is it? You've
it's
got
not gonna
Orion.
happen. This
Yeah.
new quarter schedule
Has messed up your cat?
this quarter is just killing me, especially because you remember how I had to go off my treatments because our insurance changed?
Right.
Well, I'm back on them, but
Good.
they had to start me up on they couldn't just continue. They needed to do the
Start you
startup
all over again.
protocol again.
Don't
So
you love
that
that?
means twice a week for 4 weeks.
Right.
So I've got to do twice a week, 2 hours there, which means 3 hours twice a week. So that's 6 hours a week. Plus, I've got class twice a week, 2 hours there,
Education is hard.
plus travel time. So that's 3 hours. So that's 6 hours a week. So 12 hours.
And you
My
still
schedule just increased by 12 hours a week that I have to fit in.
have your individual people, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Plus the homework for this class, which is not insignificant. Um,
You're only in your 50s. You can do it.
oh my goodness. I had to call in sick yesterday because I felt so bad.
You have to
Because
be careful because you can't run yourself down. You'll get
well,
sick.
classes are on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? So I work on Tuesday. No, I go to class on Tuesday
But you're
and
supposed
then
to
I
ruin
leave
it.
class and go to work. So I just shifted my schedule down 2.5 hours. So I go to class at 9 instead of starting work at 9, and I get to work at 11:30, which means then I work till 5:30, which means then I'm not home till 6, right? On Tuesday nights. And then Wednesday mornings, I work at 11 until 5. And then there's wheel on Wednesday nights.
Right. But you enjoy that. So that's
But
therapy.
I enjoy that.
That's the way I look at mine.
But the problem is then Thursday morning comes around and there's homework due for Thursday morning class.
And then you have
And
Oldtifa at
when
night.
exactly did I have time to do it between Tuesday class and Thursday class? Because I was at work.
You don't have telekinesis?
I don't, I can't, which means I have to do all the homework between Thursday class and Tuesday class.
But if it's writing, can't you do a transcription?
But I still have to have the homework done.
Well, that's what I mean. You print it out as a
I have to
transcription.
have Thursday's homework done by Tuesday,
Mm.
right? Because I
Okay.
can't do Thursday's homework between Tuesday and Thursday. So I've got to have the full week's worth of homework done.
See, you're like the United States. You did this to yourself.
I did do this to myself. It is the last class.
We're not in our 20s anymore. It's hard to
Yeah.
remember. Yes, when I get little boys trying to pick up on me while I'm taking money from them, and I just wanted to turn the light on me and go, "I'm old enough to be your great-grandmother, okay?" So, it's like, I think our generation is not taking aging well at all. So, 50 is the new 40. No bullshit. 50 is the new 30.
Something like that.
Yeah. No, we're
And
it's like,
boy, I was tired yesterday. I could do nothing but sleep all day long.
I wish I could. I can't even sleep with a cold. I've never been able to
Oh, that
sleep
would
well.
be hard.
Yeah. I had to
I've
prop
always
myself
been
up
able
tonight.
to sleep. I mean, even when I had a sleep disorder, I could sleep. I just slept more, right? My problem was that I didn't sleep. My problem was I tried to sleep more to catch up on to get enough sleep
No,
because
my
I thought I was sleeping
yeah, my
when I
rhythm
was
was
sleeping.
3 hours as a kid. So and, kindergarten, I didn't even, like, sleep with the rest of the kids. So, yeah, no, I've never been a napper. I was a napper for a couple of years, but I think that's when I first got my brain fog and was freaked out. So, I'd fall asleep on his lap, but not since then. That was it.
Well, Cricket, that's part of the reason that I did the research stream on Sunday. I
Ah,
did I did, and I will probably be doing another one on Sunday. I need to find an interesting research subject because I'm gonna just have to do an annotated bibliography. So I have to come up with
horses.
something I want to research, and then I have to summarize.
I was also thinking that we should make cricket our fill-in. So if one of us can't make it to this one, we can get cricket to play with one of us.
Oh, that would
because
be fun.
yeah, he's he's always talking that he's like,
An
revolutionary,
old
and I'm
radical.
like, hell yeah, we need a radical.
Yeah,
So it's like,
we do need a radical. I'm a little too centrist.
I'm
I
not
mean,
radical
I'm
enough.
not centrist in this market. I'm
No,
pretty left in this market, but you know what I mean.
the real world, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm not radical enough. And I've pulled myself back a lot in the past 4 years. So, um, but yeah, it was like last night when Tori was talking about Cairo and I was feeling sorry for myself because nobody mentioned me. I was like, I'm just gonna have Cricket cover for me. And then I said, and then my shallow little butt is gonna be upset that you and Cricket had a great time. Got a lot of people. I got over it this morning, but last night I was just like sitting there pouting my head off. Ah, I should have realized I had a cold then.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably why you were feeling moody.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like one
Cricket
of
is
the
Joan
times.
Rivers. That works.
Oh god, yeah, if we can have a threesome, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Her bitch is gonna kick in.
Amazon.
I had to make an
Salute.
Amazon order. I got the coolest thing. I told you about these cool things. Now I'm going to show you now that we're 2 hours into it.
Hothead. I always think of hotheads as radicals. It's not bad to be a radical. It's normal here.
Oh, you didn't say radical, you said hothead. Got it. So
Your
these are
green
the things
screen.
I was telling you about.
Telling who?
You
Me.
on the stream today.
Oh,
The
what
little
were they?
knees, the septum ring.
Oh, right. Did you hear that one or were you busy?
Can you see it?
The the olfactory septum ring. That is neat.
So it just goes in
Yeah. It's for
and it's
aromatherapy.
infused with essential oils.
Yeah.
So you can't even see it. They sell them for, wearing inside your mask.
The only problem with that is I've got a hypersensitive nose and it did not go away with with long COVID.
Well,
That's
you
my
could try it. They're not, I mean, they're inexpensive.
Oh yeah, no, I'd definitely try it. But yeah, it's like when it all comes after dinner, I'm like, ah, I can smell it. Open the doors.
You can fill in, but you can't do current events and maintain your sanity. I
Oh,
understand, Cricket.
okay. Well, you could be the funny one in it. No problem, hun.
I'm just not sure if he can even discuss it. That's what we'll have to find
No,
out.
that's what I mean. It's like we can be, you know, we can be funny for a night.
Yes, we can just chit chat for a night.
Yeah. We can make fun of
That's
everybody.
always possible.
Always be like,
Absolutely.
everything is so serious nowadays. It's like even us sitting here just chickening, bok bok bok, it's serious. So it'd probably be good to have something
Sometimes
different.
it's good to have an evening
And this
of
is only
fun.
2 hours in one day. We still have a whole bunch to fill. So
Well, it's like the criticisms of the protests. They didn't solve anything. Why would you even bother?
because there are millions there, idiot.
I didn't think that they would solve anything.
Yeah, it wasn't a revolution, it
I
was a
don't
protest.
it this doesn't work like that.
That does.
These
Don't you know
aren't
that?
the these aren't the droids you're looking for.
It's the internet. We're all supposed to be able to do it in 8 hours.
It doesn't yeah, doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way.
Hello, Cricket. It might be good to hear somebody like yelling at us for stupidity, you know? It's like that's also what I want to do with Oldtifa. That's why it's Club Brain Fog and not Oldtifa because it's not my channel. So let's get some. Great. Now that song is going to be going through my head.
The tune that's going through my head for Let's Get Serious is Let's Get Physical.
I
So I've
hate you.
got an Olivia Newton-John, Jermaine Jackson mashup going in my head.
I've got a QR code for cross stitch to Rickroll. I'm going to put it in the bathroom.
So Cricket says, I'm curious about what formed you both politically and what activism you have engaged in the past. Oldtifa didn't come from nowhere. I'd be interested in asking you about that.
We can even work on that next week, and we can even
Yeah,
get you
we
at
can
one
talk
speed.
about that next week.
Yeah, and you could even probably interview us for that.
Subject of conversation.
Mm-hmm. It'd be neat to see if you were a good interviewer. We can get you to interview on here. And just not politics, but how did you get there?
Right. How'd you get here from there?
Yeah. See? As I said, I'm starting with the moderators and then we see what we go from there. So yeah, I wasn't joking when I said this isn't mine. I just took the name. So I don't have that kind of an ego. I guess that would be the way it's said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm slightly vain, slightly shallow, but I don't have everything has got to be about me unless I have a cold.
Occasionally, it's important for everything to be about you, for everyone.
Hopefully I'll pop this fever tonight. Look at me.
Yeah, you are a little flushed.
Uh-huh. I noticed that. I was like, holy crap, I've got a fever. I'm still cold.
Are you really? That's how you know you're sick.
It's the Wegovy.
Oh, the Wegovy makes you cold?
Well, you don't eat. So I've had to make myself eat. So it's like you're cold because your body is living off of itself. So people
Ah,
with fast metabolisms are always cold. Now I understand my mom. My cousin's the same way. One of my best friends was the same way. They're always freezing. They're skinny because they have fast metabolism.
got it.
Yeah. That's why one of them lives in Livermore. My mother wanted to move to no, she didn't want to move. She actually didn't like heat because dad wanted to move to Arizona and she was like, hell no.
Yeah, I don't I'm always cold. I'm always cold. But that's a nerve thing, not a
Ah, okay.
metabolism thing.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
it took me years I mean, like I've always got a heater on. It took me years before I realized that it was a nerve problem that it was a nerve thing that I was feeling cold and not the temperature.
that makes sense. And yes,
Partially because, when I was a little girl growing up in, you know, Minnesota, my daddy, it was the middle of the energy crisis. And so he'd turn the temperature would drop to 60, 58, 60 degrees at night.
oh yeah, wear a sweater and my grandmother opened the oven. Yeah. So
Olivia Newton-John was in Xanadu, which was the name for San Simeon in Citizen Kane, so all roads lead back to Hearst.
which
There
is
you
hilarious
go,
because I have Xanadu on DVD and a friend of mine who I didn't expect gave me the soundtrack one year for Christmas.
I don't think I've ever seen Xanadu.
Oh, it's so dated. That's the problem. It's a roller skating movie. So it's like it's so
Yeah,
massively dated. I haven't watched it in centuries. I have it in
I've never
here.
seen You're one of the cold temperature people?
There was. So it would be very weird watching her in 90-degree weather wearing a mock turtleneck and sleeves. So
Yes,
I
that
think
would
we're
be
done,
strange.
Missy. It's 9 o'clock.
It is getting late. It is
Yeah.
oh, we are done.
Yeah.
It is getting to be about that time. Was I
So
looking tired?
Oh, you're zoning out a little. That's it.
Well, like I said, this quarter schedule is
And, I've
kicking
had
me
to
in
do this because my nose is dripping if I like it or not. So,
Okay. We will let all y'all go and we will see you next week and hopefully will have more good news.
yes, good news. Go for the good news.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.